Well, as we were just talking about, there are still some big decisions hanging out from the United States Supreme Court before they end their session. Next Thursday, we could see several of the big decisions drop. We'll see if the Chevron decision drops and other information comes back. But I wanted to get to the Supreme Court and a very important ruling dealing with the Second Amendment that has already come down. They handed down this ruling last week, upholding a federal law that stops domestic abusers from having guns. The vote was 8-1. Justice Clarence Thomas dissenting. Join me now to talk about that, the president of the Crime Prevention Research Center, Dr. John Lott, here with me. John, good to have you back on the program. So this was a case, Rahimi was the case here. He had been convicted of domestic assault and then charged with having a gun illegally. He fought it all the way to the Supreme Court, and he lost 8-1. What can you tell us?
Well, I think this was one case that the Biden administration hoped that they could go and use to get rid of the Bruin decision that just came down a couple of years ago. You have the old saying, bad cases make bad law. And this Rahimi guy was as bad as they come. He's a drug dealer. He had shot at different people, had engaged in aggravated assaults, was just a bad guy. Now, he hadn't been prosecuted for any of those crimes. What had happened was domestic violence restraining order had been used to take away his guns. But, big surprise, a drug dealer was able to go and get a hold of other guns that were there. And for violating that, he was charged. And that was the case that was before the Supreme Court. Given all that, I think this case turned out remarkably well for those who support the individual right to self-defense. Justice Roberts' opinion, which is extremely short, only about 4 pages long, was very strong in terms of explaining what the purpose of the Second Amendment is, how he went back to Lexington and Concord about how the British tried to take away people's guns. He talked about after the Civil War, the reason for the 14th Amendment and applying the Bill of Rights to the state was that Southern states were trying to disarm blacks, so it was easier for people to go and terrorize and kill them, and how important self-defense was. But what the decision was here was actually very narrow. It said that in a case where you've had due process, and this individual was offered a court hearing, but he turned it down, so he at least had the option for due process that was there. It's possible for individuals who are found to be dangerous to temporarily take away their guns. And that could have a lot of real impact for other types of gun control laws. I mean, it remains to be seen exactly how it's applied to other places, but you take something like red flag laws, where there's no hearing. The judge simply has a written complaint from somebody, and based solely on that written complaint, without talking to the person who wrote the complaint or the person that the complaint is made about, the judge will make a decision to take away somebody's guns. It seems to me that there's a good chance that that's not going to hold up, though, as I say, we'll have to wait. And beyond that... Fairly
narrow decision, though, right? I mean, in this particular case with Rahimi, this is fairly narrow, so they didn't knock Bruin back very far. It was a fairly narrow decision on this set of facts, right?
Right. Well, I don't really think they did really very much at all to Bruin. I mean,
right.
Bruin just says you have to go and look at what the rules were in effect when the Second Amendment was adopted, or when the 14th Amendment applied the Second Amendment to the states. And there are certain types of surety type rules and others that the court referred to that for dangerous individuals, there could be restrictions, temporary restrictions on them being able to go and have guns. And I think what the court has signaled in a couple of cases now is that if you're a violent person, particularly a violent felon, the government can take away your guns for some period of time. But, up till now, anybody who's been a felon, even if it's, Trump right now is technically a felon because of the conviction that he had for listing a payment to a lawyer as a legal expense. Right. My guess is the court, if they had that case, would say, nah, you can't. It has to be a violent felony that's there, not just a work issue. In order to take away a person's right to self-defense. And even then, They say if I have an 18-year-old that goes and commits a crime, you can't ban him when he's 70 from being able to go and have a gun. There has to be some time limit to it.
Yeah, there has to be some guardrails on it, some limitations that can't be open-ended, but that's what they want. It is what they want. In Michigan, they've come up with this, the new governor's gun safety task force. And this is not just unique to Michigan. These sorts of things are happening in blue states everywhere where their pursuit of gun control laws, their appetite is incessant, it seems. Real quickly, I'll give you the last word.
Well, I think this case is going to be important in the long run, but I think my guess is from the concurrence by Kavanaugh that there are other cases that the Supreme Court's going to be taking soon, particularly with regard to assault weapons bans. And, I think the court will be making some progress with regard to protecting people's ability to go and defend themselves.
We'll keep a close eye on all of this. Dr. John Lott, Crime Prevention Research Center president. Always good to talk to you, John. Thank you for being here.
Thank you.
All right, we'll get back to the news after this quick break and a message from our sponsor, Birch Gold. We recently had some monumental news that no one is talking about. For the first time in American history, the interest we now pay on the national debt is bigger. It's more than every other individual budget item except Social Security, and that's becoming a foot race. That's right. The U.S. now spends more on interest than on national defense or Medicare, and it's getting worse as big government continues to spend and spend and spend. And that's why savvy investors, central banks, and concerned savers are turning to gold, something not tied to the inflated U.S. dollar. You can, too, with the help of Birch Gold. For over 20 years, Birch Gold has helped thousands of Americans protect their savings by converting an IRA or 401k into an IRA in physical gold. To learn more, text America to 989898. Claim your free, no-obligation information kit on gold. Birch Gold has earned my trust with their education-first approach, their thousands of happy customers, and their countless 5-star reviews. That's right, Birch Gold. Text America to 989898. Find out more.